Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I am Patience. In today's video, I'll be talking about 6 top accounts to grow your net worth. I am currently in my early 20s, and I know that this decade will be fundamental towards laying the path towards financial freedom. These 6 accounts I'll be telling you about are accounts that I'm already using that I think are very helpful. But before we do so, let's hit a disclaimer. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I am just a girl on YouTube who makes videos because I am passionate about personal finance and financial literacy. Please do not take my word as the gospel. Do your own research and just hopefully use this as a guideline. I'm just really passionate about personal finance and financial literacy, so I've learned a lot and I'm just sharing what I know. But again, I am not a financial advisor. Please do your research, and this is mostly for entertainment and learning purposes. Always do your own research. End of disclaimer. Now that we've all heard that disclaimer, let's get right into it. All these accounts are of equal importance, maybe some more than others, but at the end of the day, depending on where you are in life and what your goals look like, one of these may be better than the other, but it is possible to have all 6 at once. So let's get right into it. The first account, of course, is a checking account. I think everybody needs a checking account in this day and age. If you don't already have one, it is easy to open it. Go to your local bank or credit union and just ask them to open an account. I think if you're under the age of 18, you have to do with a parent. I opened my first bank account when I was 16 years old. I did it under my parents, and it was fairly easy to do. It's like a very simple process, but this really helps for several different reasons. One of the main reasons is that a lot of time today, jobs electronically deposit money. Having a bank account will serve as a source to receive all of your electronically deposited money, and it's a safe place to keep your money. In fact, the FDIC insures money up to $250,000. Most people don't have that money, so more likely than not, your money will be safe in a bank account. And if you do have more than $250,000, you can just open another bank account to keep that money in there, and so you can get that one insured as well. But remember that if that is the case, you want to open it at a different bank so the insurance covers it. I'm pretty sure if you have it like all in one bank, the insurance is for all the money you have at that bank. Account number 2 is a high yield savings account, or you might know it as a high interest savings account. This is money that would grow a little bit more interest than if you put it at your regular bank, but sometimes it will be more harder to access. This is a good method of saving money, especially if you have a goal of buying something within like the next 2 years. It is also a good place to keep an emergency fund, so when you need the money, you have access to it. However, it's able to still gain interest and not lose too much value as it's sitting in cash. A good high yield savings account I recommend to everybody is the Capital One 360 savings account. As of filming of this video, it has a 1.3% interest gain. This is a lot more compared to the national average, which is less than 0.5%. A high yield savings account also allows you to create a goal and to reach that goal. So you can have an account for a specific item and just keep putting money in there, and you see your money grow, whether it's for like a deposit on a house, or even for like a party, for vacation, for school. Whatever goal you have, you can open a high yield savings account and save that money and separate it from your regular checking account. Account number 3 is the regular brokerage account. A regular taxable brokerage account offers no tax incentives. However, I'll be getting into the other accounts later that will offer tax incentives. But if you're able to max those out, opening a regular brokerage account that is you're able to keep money and grow it can be a very good option for you. And again, while there are no tax benefits, there is also no limitation. So you can put as much money as you want to whichever platform you have to grow it. You can buy into individual stocks, bonds, and even index funds. Now that we're done with those accounts, I'm going to move on to a different set of accounts. These are going to be retirement accounts, and these accounts offer tax benefits. These accounts are governed by the government, and there are laws and limitations to each of them. Let's go in. Going into the 4th account is a health savings account. an HSA. If you've never heard of it, well, this is a good time to hear about it. A health savings account is more like a health investment account. We all get sick at some point, and even if you're not sick now, we're all gonna grow old someday, hopefully, and probably gonna have a bit of issues here and there and gonna need help with medical bills. If your employer offers a high deductible plan or you're enrolled in a high deductible plan, you can qualify to open an HSA as well. I have opened my HSA and it is great. Here is where it gets very interesting. When you open an HSA, you get to contribute pre-tax money to that account. There are limitations to it. If you're a single person this year, the limitation is $3,650. And if you're family, the limitation is $7,300. When you contribute pre-tax money, it brings down your taxable income at the moment. And that money goes into the account tax-free. After the money reaches about $1,000, you get to invest it tax-free as it grows, and as long as you use it on medical expenses, you get to use that money tax-free. Can you imagine? That is great. It is unheard of. This is great because many of us have some sort of medical expenses to pay. You can use it to pay for your copay. You can use it to pay for the dentist, glasses, like I wear glasses, so I know like I would need at least glasses for probably the rest of my life. I can use that. As long as you use your medical expenses, that money is tax-free. It is a triple tax benefit. Another amazing thing is that many employers offer matches. This match has to add up to that limitation. So it means that you get to contribute less and still get to that goal. That is literally free money, and that free money will grow tax-free and can be used tax-free. To illustrate this better, let's take an example. You're 22 years old and you plan to retire at 62. That gives you 40 years. Let's say you decide to contribute $3,650 to the HSA over the next 40 years. This means that on a monthly basis, you're contributing approximately $304 to the account. At an average market return of 10% per year over the next 40 years, you would have over $1.6 million in your HSA. This is great. It will mean that no matter what happens in your retirement with healthcare, you will be well taken care of. And as the saying goes, we hope for the best, but you plan for the worst. I would like to add that if you do not use this money for health care purposes and instead you take it like shopping or something, yes, you will be fined a penalty and you will be taxed on that money. The number 5 account I'm going to get into is an IRA. There's a traditional version and then there's a Roth IRA. I prefer the Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is a after-tax individual retirement account. Unlike the HSA, you're contributing money after you've been taxed. So this is money that comes in your paycheck. You can contribute up to $6,000 per year if you're under the age of 50. And after the age of 50, you can play catch up by contributing $7,000 per year. This is currently, so if you're watching this like in the future, like 10 years from now, it might be different. 20 years ago, the maximum you can contribute was like $2,000, and it's always increasing and being adjusted. So who knows what it'll be in the future. And unlike the HSA that you can use it as you're going, like I could use my HSA for my doctor's appointment next week or next month. Your Roth IRA can only be accessed after the age of 59 and a half. There are some exceptions to this, but it's on a case-by-case basis, so you want to be careful with that. If you do access this money before the age of 59 and a half, there is a penalty. The early withdrawal penalty will not only be something you have to pay, but then they'll also add that money as your income, so you also have to pay for that. The biggest benefit of a Roth IRA is that if you max out your account at say $6,000 per year, that money gets to grow and you keep the interest, so you never have to pay money or taxes on that interest. And now you see why it's limited, right? So to really take advantage of this plan, you want to be contributing as much as possible towards the max to grow your money tax-free. So when you reach that age, all that money that you will have saved by then will be yours and you wouldn't have to pay a dime on it. Let me give you an example to demonstrate how powerful a Roth IRA is. With this example, we're gonna say you're 22 years again and you plan to retire at the age of 62. you decide to max out your Roth IRA at $6,000 per year, contributing $500 per month. At an average market return of 10% over a 40-year period, you will have over $2.7 million of tax-free money at the age of 62. And again, this is money you don't have to pay any taxes on. It is all yours to keep and to live on for as long as you're gonna live. Now let's move on to number 6 account, which most of us have heard of, which is a 401k. There are two versions of this, a traditional 401k and a Roth 401k. Just like the IRA, a traditional is pre-tax money and a Roth is after-tax money. The benefit of a traditional pre-tax 401k is that it lowers your taxable income at the moment, especially if you have a high income now and you think you're going to retire in a lower tax bracket. This is very helpful. It also allows you to contribute more and that money grows. So the interest and the amount of money you have over time compounding is much more. But after the age of 59 and a half, when you're able to access it, you will pay taxes as you withdraw that money. The 401k also has a higher limitation. As of the year 2022, you can contribute up to $20,500 in your 401k. So let's say you're making $100,000 a year and you're contributing $20,000 to your 401k every single year. It means that you'll be taxed as if you're making $80,000. So you get an immediate tax benefit. But that $20,000 you're contributing gets to go into your account and grow and have so much more interest. And then you would pay the taxes when you take it out. Another benefit of a 401k is that many companies offer it. So it's very common for many companies to offer your 401k when you start working there. But they also offer employer matches. And this is like free money. As long as you contribute a certain amount, they will contribute up to a certain point. If your employer offers it, take it every single time. At least contribute to that match to make sure you're getting all that free money. If you are contributing to a Roth 401k, your employer match will still be in a traditional, so you will still have to pay taxes on that money when you take it out. Just like the IRA, there is a penalty for early withdrawal if you withdraw the money before the age of 59 and a half. You will be penalized for it. You have to pay the taxes and that money will be put onto your income and be taxed as income. So the IRA and the 401k should not serve as a savings account. That's what you use your high yield savings account for. That is what you can use your taxable brokerage account for, but don't like take money out of your 401k to buy a car. It's just not a great move. And like all the other accounts, I will give you an example of how amazing this can be. Let's say you're 22 again and you plan to retire at the same age of 62. So that's a 40-year time span. You have a great income and you're able to contribute the max of $20,500 per year. This means that you're contributing approximately $1,708 per month to your 401k. At an average market return of 10% per year over the next 40 years, if you're consistent every single time, you will have over $9.4 million in your account at the age of 62. And again, depending if this money is pre-tax or after tax, then you will decide whether you have to pay your taxes or you don't have to. And this is not even including the employer matches, because your employer match is also going to grow on its own, and that's a lot of money as well that you'll be gaining interest on. Giving you all this example, let's say you did all three. You contributed to your 401k, maxing it out every single year at $20,500. You contributed to your HSA, maxing out at $3,650 per year, and also maxed out your Roth IRA at $6,000 per year. How much would you have at the end of your 40-year period? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be happy to know you would have over $13.9 million for yourself in retirement. So I'm definitely the type of person to tell people all this information, like encourage them to make the best financial decision for themselves. And people always ask me, what if I don't live to like retirement? Like, why would I want to contribute when I don't know if I'll live to be 50.5 years old in order to access this money? It's such a long time to access that money. That's what people always say. And the truth is, look around you. How many 6-year-olds do you see? The likelihood of you making it to the age of 60 is much higher than you probably just dropping dead. as a healthy young person. If your parents are alive and your grandparents are alive, or like you just have a ton of older people in your family, look at them. They're like living and they still have to like pay bills and stuff like that. Wouldn't you rather, again, hope for the best and plan for the worst case? Wouldn't you rather have money at the age of retirement than to get there and not have it because you thought you wouldn't reach that age? This is especially important if you're a woman, because women tend to live longer than men. So you definitely want to have more money invested just so that it can last you through retirement. There have been cases of older people running out of money during retirement, and that is not a fun thing to go through, because a lot of time when you're that old, it is hard to get a job. It is hard to keep a job. You're wrestling with a lot of health problems. So having these accounts to help you build your net worth and just have that money accessible is great. And worst case scenario, you don't make it to 60 years old. Well, you can pass that money on to your children, your family, and stuff like that. And maybe it's not like the fun thing to say, because you're gonna be like, I sacrificed to get that money, but it will be helpful towards them. But again, going back to research, you are more likely to live to the age of retirement than not to. Today's advancement in medicine, you are more likely than ever to reach 70, 80, 90, and even 100 years old. Before ending this video, I just want to rank like the accounts and like how important they are. And if you don't know, again, this is just a suggestion as to what you can do to make sure you're prioritizing each account and ensuring that you're making the best financial decisions for yourself. I think a checking account is a no-brainer. Everybody should probably get one, because it will be the main point for you to transfer your money from one account to another. And the first account you always want to take advantage of is your 401k, especially up to the employer match. You want to make sure that you're getting all that match, all that free money before even moving to another account, because unlike most of the other accounts, you don't get free money just from investing in it. So you want to make sure that whichever one has like an employer match or like free money incentive, you want to get that. And depending on your insurance, you may or may not qualify for an HSA, but if you do qualify, definitely contribute as much as possible. And the next account you want to take advantage of is your Roth IRA. I definitely think that Roth IRA is very good, and it should be one of the main priorities for maxing it out. If you're able to max it out, because that $6,000 per year you can contribute is only up to that year. And most people may not be able to max out their 401k at $20,500 a year, but a Roth IRA is more doable. So making sure you contribute that money, and even if you don't know what to invest it in yet, definitely still put that money, because at the end of the year, you're not going to be able to go back and put that money in, and that's tax-free growth that you're experiencing. So it's very important to max it out as soon as you can. The next thing you want to do is go back to your 401k and max it out. So you max out your Roth IRA and you come back and like contribute as much as possible to your 401k. I hope that's not confusing. The taxable brokerage account, like I said, is unlimited. You can contribute as much as possible, but it offers no tax benefit. So it depends on what you want and how you want to use it. You definitely want to max out your 401k and your Roth IRA before contributing excess money just to contribute. Like if you just have excess money you want to invest, unless of course you're saving for, say, a house in the next 10 years or a car in the next 5 years. Like if you're having that type of long-term savings, then the taxable brokerage account will be better for you than putting it into a retirement account, because again, you're not going to be able to access that money until the age of 60 years old. And if you access it before then, you will be hit with a hefty penalty. A savings account has its place in here, which is for money you need to be accessible to at any moment, for your emergency funds and for other funds you would need within the next 2 years. Each account has its own purpose, and it's really good to do your research and to learn about each account and how you can benefit from each. You don't have to participate in all of them, but if you can and you do have the opportunity to, you should take advantage of it and read about it, research it, and see how it can serve you best. And with that, I feel like I've said a lot. Again, I am not a financial advisor, so I always recommend that you do your own research and learn about it. It is so interesting, but these are things you want to start taking advantage now that you're like younger and you can, and just to know know about it, so you don't look back many years from now and think, wow, you know, I wish somebody told me. And with that, I'll be concluding this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can get a notification every time I post a new video. And let me know in the comments section which of these accounts you think is the best, and like, you know, have you partaken in it and what was your experience? Again, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.